I could have been anything that I wanted to be. But I chose this. The life of a teddy boy. Now, why did I become a Ted? Post-war Britain. Doom and gloom. No future. You see, I wanted to be a part of something that would change the landscape of this country forever. We were young. As a matter of fact, we were beyond the future. We were hope. Being a teddy boy, this is the one thing people don't understand, you see. Being a teddy boy is not a fashion statement or a game show and tell. What it is, right, it's a lifestyle. You live and breathe it.
Something's going on up in the sky. Something's going on and you don't.
I can see everything in my head, all the wonderful things we're gonna do. And I know that it'll treat me like a princess and protect me. And I know it'll make me feel special and important. Like a girl's supposed to feel.
Hey, Mr. Taylor, don't get cute. I want more than me, a teddy boy suit. Hot blue jacket with a velvet cup. You better work faster and might get rough, 'cause I'm the wildest kid in town. Ain't the wildest kid in town. Ain't nobody gonna put me down. Well, I'm rocking this daddy about. Well, I got a girl that's sitting in the tees. Can't take a rockin' in my old blue jeans.
I know him too well.
And I get this right.
Long before teddy boys and rockers. Long before rock and roll had a definition.
Ain't nobody gonna put me down. Well, I'm rocking this daddy about.
Well, I said to myself, me with a teddy boy? No way. But here I am, sat with you.
We've already confiscated that beautiful Ford Zephyr of yours. Next, it's going to be your well-being.
I'm like Marmite. You either love me or you hate me. I could be your hero whilst being the villain in someone else's story. That's what it's like being in my creepers. It gives me purpose. Hello everyone, my name is Andrew Games and I am an actor and award-winning filmmaker from Liverpool, England, and I'm happy to be joined with you today in collaboration with Julio Pacheco for the Las Palmas Big Bang Vintage Festival right over there in Gran, Canaria. So, without further ado, allow me to take this opportunity to introduce you to my 2021 TeddyBoy Extravaganzza Dandylicious. I've always been fascinated by history, and one of those capsules in time that captivated my attention and that I was completely engrossed by was the Teddy Boy subculture. And what really fascinated me about this subculture was that they were the first anti-establishment youth movement, at least in Great Britain, at a time in post-war Britain where everything was doom and gloom, and as far as people were concerned at that time, there was no future. And for that young generation, for the youth at that time, they were the first generation who were no longer going to sit on their hands. And they said, do you know what? We are going to create a future for ourselves. We're going to make some noise. We want to be treated as seriously, just as seriously as our elders. And the only way to do that is to make noise. And boy, they did make noise. And they were reckless about it. And despite juvenile delinquency, despite some of their reckless behaviours and very reckless natures, if it wasn't for the Teddy Boys, the youth of today would not have a voice. And that is my opinion. the youth today, the likes of myself, are taken seriously and are heard and listened to, it all started with the Teddy Boys. Before the mods, before the punks, before the rockers, before hippies, before any other subculture or youth movement, it all started with the Teddy Boys. I think there's a lot we need to thank them for. And one thing that really attracted me was the fact that this subculture still existed, and it wasn't just the old guard, the original Teds from the first incarnation of the 50s. It also consisted of Teddy Boys from the 70s, the 80s, onwards all the way today. Teddy Boys much younger than me, Teddy Boys younger than the age of 10. It's fascinating. So obviously there was an audience, there was a community of people, and the one thing that really shocked me was there wasn't a film about Teddy Boys. Sure, there were films where there were Teddy Boy characters. There's so many films throughout history that had these Teddy Boy characters, but there was never a film about the subculture itself or about the lifestyle of a Teddy Boy, especially within the 50s as well. And this is what I really wanted to do. I really wanted to tell this story. So I knuckled down, got the script out, and I started writing this story. Dandylicious is a British stylised neo-western about a day in the life of a Teddy Boy in 1959. Our hero, or anti-hero, Marty, is living the life of a public menace within his hometown. Getting into fights and causing disruption on the streets, Marty is the king of the Teds. Or is he? So the key phrase there, stylised neo-western. I really wanted to reflect the rebellious nature of the Teds and also the kind of cowboy, kind of outlaw mentality that the Teddy Boys had at that time. When they roamed the streets, it wasn't the government that owned the streets, it was the Teddy Boys. They owned the streets. You know, those famous photographs of Teddy Boys and Teddy Girls at bomb sites, that was their playground. They owned that as their habitat. And, you know, the whole kind of rebellious outlook that they had, I really wanted to reflect that with the style of filmmaking. So I wanted to make this film as abstract, as off the wall, as stylized, as unconventional, and as unconservative as possible. And I do believe that this has really reflected a lot of the Ted's lifestyle at that time, especially for Marty, the key character of this film. So we started filming in 2018, and then we filmed all the way throughout, even through the pandemic, till late 2020. The film is out now on the film festival circuit, and as of the recording of this short piece for this festival, the film has already been nominated for Best Feature Film. So it's had a great start. The audiences have loved it so far, and I hope you guys get an opportunity to see it as well. Stay tuned on the Dandylicious Facebook page for further information on how to see the film. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you found this interesting and fascinating and all things above. And I'd like to thank Julio for getting me on board for this. Thank you very much. Gracias.